Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Cottonman, and today I'm bringing you guys a video on the Twisted Treeline. This video will just be some of the basic concepts of the map, as well as timers for buffs, altars, and showing you some of the strategies that you can do when in a game. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing to talk about are the lanes in Twisted Treeline. There's only 2 lanes, and that consists of a bottom lane and a top lane. Both lanes have 2 turrets for each side, 2 inhibitors, and 1 nexus turret. Just like Summoner's Rift, the main goal of the map is to destroy the nexus, and how you do so is the same, by going through the turrets, to the inhibitors, to the base turret, and eventually the nexus. Next up are the additions to Twisted Treeline that are not on other maps. Altars unlock at 3 minutes. If you stun on the altar, you'll start to capture it, and you can see this process by a ring forming around you on the altar. If you have other teammates standing on top of it with you, it will be captured faster. After you capture it, you'll gain 80 gold for your team, an aura that will give you extra gold on kill for your team, and the altar will be locked for 90 seconds. A ghost relic in the middle of the map will gain you health and resource gain, as well as a small movement speed buff for a short duration. If you have 1 altar up, you will gain extra gold by picking it up as if you were killing minions, monsters, or champions every 90 seconds. Also, as a side note, if you're able to capture both altars, your team will gain an extra 10% bonus ability power and attack damage buff for your entire team. You will also lose this buff when you lose the altar, so make sure you try to keep it as long as possible, and while playing, do your best to get both altars when possible, as it will give everyone on your team a winning edge. Lastly, you start with a base gold of 825 instead of 475. Next up is the jungle. Just like on Summoner's Rift, there's 3 camps you can go to. You can go to the Wraith camp, which is shown here, the Wolf camp, shown here, and lastly, the double golems, which is shown here. This is also the same for the other side of the map, and since the jungle is scarce, if you want to hinder your enemy team by, say, if they push their lane, the best thing you can do is go steal their jungle and leave them gold deprived. It seems as though I forgot to mention something. Something big. The last thing on Twisted Treeline is Vile Maw, which is spawning here. If you kill him, you gain a team-wide buff just like Baron Nashor that will give you cooldown reduction, attack speed, life regen, and mana regeneration, or any source of resource regeneration. Vile Maw should not be attempted early on, as you will die, not unless if you have innate sustain with champions like Lee Sin or Warwick, or lifesteal items. When the match starts, it's a good idea to get vision all around you just to see if anyone invades. I typically stand on the altar to see above me, and I have someone to the right of me in the bush to see if anyone comes from the right side. It's also viable to pick jungler, although it's very debatable whether or not picking smite is a good idea or not. And if you're just starting to get into the jungle, some champions that are decent are Aatrox, Lee Sin, and Warwick, and Nunu, as they have good enough sustain that you won't die, but they'll still be effective later on in the game, and they have some good ganking potential when trying to help out a lane. Also, you'll find yourself engaging in a lot of team fights. This is due to the map being so small and there being so many tight quarters that you're bound to see someone at some point, and whether or not that's being them overly aggressive, you being overly aggressive, or you're trying to contest an altar, trying to contest minions, monsters, anything. This is a good thing though, because it allows you to snowball, get your items faster, and eventually win the game. Twisted Treeline is known to have a good snowballing effect, that once a team gets ahead, they typically stay ahead due to the amount of pressure that they're able to put on the other team, and by them constantly getting buffs, getting their jungle, getting their altar, where it just completely gold deprives the other team. So I hope you guys learned something a little bit about Twisted Treeline, as it's one of my favorite maps in the off chance that I'm not doing anything with other friends that I just like to play on my own. If there's anything I can do to change in the video, add, or the video is just fine, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be sure to keep adding Twisted Treeline videos in the future. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time.